Those are basically speech part of it. And action, the way you act in the class and other administrative matter, those becomes action. Now let us say policy says something, but certain people or certain authority, his action is against policy. That will be amounting to lack of congruence between speech and action. So I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. So when you're talking in terms of congruence, basically all thinking or policy formulation, communication and implementation, they have to be congruent. And those companies, when you look at companies, success of companies, companies which are having congruence in these three areas, they do much better compared to other companies which are not congruent. For example, if we take Tata as a company, luckily I was very lucky to work with three type of organizations in my career. Tata is one set of organization, which is a private company, but very ethical company. Other could be a family-owned organization like Ispat Industries. Sorry. I was lucky to work with Mr. Ellen Mittal very closely when you are not that big actually. So, you know, sort of like I spent a lot of time with him talking on subjects when he was vice chairman of Ispat Industries in India. And I also visited two of his plants outside India, particularly Mexico and Trinidad Tobago. And third set of company, US MNC, I was heading their India operations. So, you know, when you compare these three type of companies, you will find that Tata is having a very sustainable growth, very sustainable performance actually, compared to a family-owned organization, and very clearly in terms of implementation, their policy and their thought. So there is congruence if you define, and if you have some scale of measuring congruence, I would call it, in the case of Tata, the congruence level between thought, speech and action, or policy, communications and implementation is the highest. Therefore, people normally don't leave Tata organization. I was lucky to spend 10 years out of 30 years of my career in corporate sector with Tata's, then other 10 years I spent with these two type of companies. Now question comes, look, I have understood that if I want to do good in my life, I need to have congruence. And you know, if you start working today, I can guarantee you will do it. So now in the next section, I'm going to go a little deeper into how to work in this area and really achieve good heights in this area. So who is responsible for doing this? Obviously, it is you who can do it. You have got complete power with you and you can only make it. And how do you make it happen? These two questions I will be answering in subsequent slides. So I'm going to give you a 5-point prescription. You will like to note down this. If you do these 5 points and then take a guarantee from me, in case you don't succeed, write back to me. I'm so confident that the more you do, better you will be. The first thing I'm saying, think, talk and act with purpose. What it means is primarily that you think, talk and act. These are congruence of these three things and purpose. So one extra things I have here is purpose is very important. Deep desire for doing something, we'll call it purpose. So here in this slide, even Lord Buddha said your purpose in life is to find your purpose and give your whole and soul to it. So basically, if you are able to define the purpose of your life, you will do much better. And here, very important is how to define purpose. Purpose is something which is very important to understand. And once you define the purpose, then you put your whole and what you call soul and heart behind it, you will succeed. Now, just to give you an example, purpose is a question of perception. Purpose is a question of definition. And that makes your blood to run very, what you call hot in your blood streams, basically. It excites you. It makes you passionate. And passionate people always perform. Once there was a gentleman who just went and asked Socrates, what is purpose? Socrates told him, look, tomorrow morning I am going out for a walk. Why can't you come with me for the walk? I'm walking on the bank of a river. So this gentleman said, yes, I will come. So he joined him next morning for a walk on a bank of a river. Now, once they met on the bank of the river, Socrates started moving towards the river and asked the boy to follow him. So they started getting into the river and they went up to the knee-deep water and little more water till the water came to the neck of the boy. And that time Socrates took control of the boy and pushed him inside the water and just kept him inside the water. The boy was sinking in the water. Socrates allowed him to sink his body become blue, almost at the time of collapsing. Then he pulled him out because he had a complete control. And he pulled him out and asked him, what did you feel? He said, look, what did you need the best, need the most in these difficult hours? The boy said, sir, air. He took a deep breath. He said, that is what is the success. When you have a deep desire for something, that becomes purpose for you, and you look for it, you will succeed getting it. That is what he mentioned there. So, whenever you have deep desire, now this deep desire could be anything. And your mind is so powerful, which I have seen myself. If you think for something, if there is a deep desire, nobody can stop you. So what it means, you need to feel deep desire for something. It could be desire for a wealth. It could be desire for doing something. It could be desire for achieving something, whatever you think. But always think that with your character, that is very important. Don't start thinking wealth and then fall in the trap of